Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Well, hello again. Welcome back for part 2 of AFTN's Christmas Special. Broadcasting from CITR Radio on the unceded Musqueam territory at the University of British Columbia. If you're listening to this show on the podcast, this will be episode 237. I'm Michael McCall.
I'm Steve Pander.
And I'm Caitlin McCall.
And in part 1, we played a lot of Christmas songs. We had some of the Whitecaps' favourite Christmas songs, talked about Christmas traditions. In this part, it's going to be more soccer related. So we're going to look at some of the week's Whitecap news, a little bit of the MLS news, get some of the insight into what it's like in the households of some of the Whitecaps players. We're going to play some games. I've got some fun questions to pose to my two co-hosts here. If we have time, we might play a little bit of Christmas Countdown, and there'll be some more Christmas music as well. But let's kick things off with a look at the week's Whitecap news. And for the build-up to Christmas, Steve, it was surprisingly a busy week.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff happening. Yeah, you don't expect anything to happen before Christmas but I guess nothing ever stops because you kind of keep working at it.
No, but I mean, Johnny Monster, John Knox, had tweeted out, what's the bad news going to be that the Whitecaps are going to release on the Friday before Christmas?
Yeah,
and
for some people it was bad.
Yeah, for me it was bad.
For me it was fine.
Yeah.
That was good.
Donnell Henry
has
joined the Whitecaps. He is the latest addition, 24-year-old defender, using that in inverted commas. Look, I'm going to be honest. He's a Whitecap now. I'm going to support him. I'm going to cheer him on, but I'd be two-faced if I suddenly said I thought he was a great defender. I've not liked the guy. I just don't think he's that good a player. But he's a Whitecap now, so I hope he goes and proves me wrong. He had 3 years at West Ham, my English team, apart from AFC Wimbledon, my other English team. So didn't make any Premiership appearances for them. Did play for them in Europe and had some sort of League Cup appearances. 93 appearances for TFC across all competitions before he went over to there. 5 goals. 22 caps for Canada. All I can think of is he was a little bit of a bomb scare at times with Toronto, but especially with Canada. But I do appreciate that when he was playing at his worst with Canada, it was when he was playing at right back, which is not his position.
Yeah, that was Benito Floro's, experiment there. Even the TFC stuff, I think you were a little bit, you were thinking it was because he was playing on TFC too. He was pretty solid for TFC. Your team in England, West Ham, they saw something in him.
He did go on loan to Blackburn, and the reports back from there were really good.
Positive.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying he's injury prone too.
Yes.
He only had 2 injuries, really, I consider. One was a hernia in 2015-2016, and then he had a minor knee injury in 16-17, which turned into that major knee injury, the rupture, which took him out for a full year. So in actuality, it was only a couple of years where he was injured. And one was, I think it was less than maybe 2 to 3 months he was out. And the other one, obviously, that was a big one because that was over 400 days.
But how good is it then for a player like that to come back here and then be playing on turf?
Yeah.
I don't know that's
scary.
A good move for him.
It's going to be but similar to what David Edgar would have gone through because he had a similar knee injury. I think his was a little bit less. It wasn't as worse, but it would have been the same thing. So a lot of players do come back from these knee injuries and they're forced to play on turf. So we'll see what happens with that one.
Well, talking to David Edgar, do you feel this means that's the end of Edgar? Is he going to be back, or is this a replacement?
Unless Waston is leaving in the winter or something like that in the January transfer window, yeah, I don't see Edgar coming back.
No, it certainly doesn't look like that. And if you were to give me the choice between Edgar and Henry, I would pick Edgar. I know he's older, but he's got that experience that I feel they need in the locker room. Obviously, there's Aaron Mond as well, but they could trade him. They could still bring back Edgar and trade Mond. Yeah.
If they really want that extreme depth and they have the money to play around with at the centre-back position.
I read a couple of things on Twitter on the Southsiders forum as well. Folk were saying, this is a chance for them to trade Parker now and get a good return for Parker.
Yeah.
Why would you want to get rid of Parker? I just don't see that at all.
Doesn't make sense because you're worried about Waston leaving. Maybe, like you said, you've always mentioned that after World Cup he might be leaving. If he does leave after World Cup, if he's like wanted in Europe or somewhere, you want Henry and Parker to be and they're both young too. They're good age to be a good partnership. And if Henry gets a little bit of time to work back into game shape and everything and in form, then I think it could be a positive thing.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what happens. Another thing to look at as well is Robo maybe going to go for 3 at the back? Are we going to have like a 3-5-2? Because obviously Parker and Henry can both play on the right.
Yeah.
Would it make sense to do that switch and try and get more offensive pieces on the field? Or is that just not Robo's MO?
No, I don't know. He might be able to experiment now maybe because Henry is that, like you said, he played right back. He shouldn't have. With Canada's national team, he played right back, but that shows that he has some athletic ability to play a little bit more offensive. So if he plays on one side, Parker plays on one side, Waston in the middle, then they could play that, wing back up the field.
Well, we'll see what it brings. That was the only new addition this week. Anthony Blondell is one of the other new additions this off-season.
But he went on a high with his Venezuelan team, for sure.
Yeah, played his last game for Monagas last Sunday. Scored his 24th goal of the season, league leading in the Venezuelan Primera Division, to help his team win that match 2-0, 2-1 in aggregate, and lift their first Primera Division championship in their 30 years existence. So he's coming here in a super high, full of confidence, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do as a Whitecap.
It'll be interesting to see. I do like you said, 24 goals is huge in any league really, but it'll be interesting to see whether that can translate, like you said. And I like with the addition of Kai Kamara, he doesn't have to do it right away. He can work his way into learning a new place where he's living, new league he's playing, a new team, new coaches, new teammates, and stuff like that. So he's not pressured to do anything like, for example, Octavio Rivera was years ago. So it is a positive for him that he's coming on such a high, and it's also positive that he doesn't have to be rushed into anything as well.
I think it's exciting to see what kind of partnership him and Kamara's
if they play two of the top,
if they do play together.
He could play wing too. He's played wing before, I think left or right. I'm not sure which one he prefers, but he's played that there as well. So he's got the speed to do that too.
And we're obviously going to see that in action in the pre-season. But the MLS season, we now know, will kick off at home at BC Place on Sunday, March the 4th at 3 p.m. Montreal coming again. It's usually Montreal, Toronto. Had Philadelphia, but
that was.
I was talking to our good friend Hard before it was announced, and my guess was Montreal at home. It just seemed that's what it was going to be.
Yeah, I think especially with TFC winning the title, that they always like having their champions play their first game at home, even if might not be in great conditions. I just want to give an update on Santa too. He's in Mexico right now.
Ooh.
He finished Texas, so he's in Mexico. Let's hope he gets back. Trump's people don't, stop him at the border. Hopefully that wall's not too high. He can get over it.
Well, who knows? I mean, he might like his Mexican ladies, and we might never see him. He might just stay there.
So, getting back to Montreal, I think this is what the Whitecaps want. They want a strong rival opponent at the beginning. I still think they don't need it. I think they can, sell tickets for opening kickoff against anybody. But I guess if MLS wants to do this and the Whitecaps want it, maybe that's what they need to do every year.
It's not very exciting, but
it seems like it happens every year. That's the problem. It's either TFC or Montreal. Switch back and forth.
Well, let's just hope they get off to a winning start.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, we mentioned Kendall Waston when we were talking about the centre-backs, and he was named to the best 11 in CONCACAF's team of 2017. Well-deserved honour.
I voted for him. for that spot.
Scored the goal, of course, that sent Costa Rica to the World Cup. They would have made it anyway, but I mean, he was the guy that clinched the spot.
Well, yeah, he basically turned the whole stadium into a frenzy.
Yeah, fantastic scenes. Never tired of doing that.
Yeah.
And a couple of departures to just talk about as well.
2 defenders.
Yeah, one's a
Both
surprise
left backs,
to me. Now, we talked weeks ago that the Whitecaps had offered David Norman, Meyer Bevan and Declan Wynn MLS deals. David Norman was first announced, Meyer Bevan was then announced last week, and I was waiting for Declan Wynn to get announced, but it did puzzle me where he might fit in. I mean, you've got Brett Levis, you've got Marcel de Jong, Jordan Harvey, we didn't know if he was coming back or not. Declan Wynn is a left back, he can also play left midfield, so I thought it was strange to possibly offer him a deal. But as it turns out, we don't have to worry about that because the Caps traded him to Colorado for $100,000 in TAM.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It
seems like a lot.
Seems an amazing deal.
Yeah.
And 20% of any future transfer fee as well.
Yeah, it seems like a very high amount. I guess he really one thing is he's rejoining his Kiwi coach that he played for at the Confederations Cup and
Anthony
the World Cup
Hudson.
qualifying. Yeah, so that's one thing that probably got him a good chance to get signed on there. And I guess the Whitecaps were telling him that they were thinking about signing him, and so that's why it took that much to get him brought over.
I mean, I'm sad to see him move on because I like him. I like what he offers. We've spoken to him loads. He's a great guy to speak to as well. But to get $100K in TAM from him, I think, is a fantastic...
From a WFC2 signing.
Yeah, fantastic bit of business.
And the thing is this kind of opens it up that, although Marcel de Jong, I don't think he's re-signed yet. I think that opens it up that he's probably going to return and then gives a really good chance to Brett Levis. Because as somebody reported, I wish I could give them credit because I just can't remember who said it, but it was an article where it was in a Swedish paper where Sam Edkubi is looking for a permanent transfer. And
it looks like that's almost done and dusted.
Done and dusted. Well, obviously, it'll be when it becomes official. We'll let you know. But it looks like it's going to happen with that left back. Out. You got Declan Wynn out now, and then obviously the last one we're going to talk about the guy who's been here for a very long time.
Now players come and go. Players move on. Once they move on, I don't really care too much about them, and a lot of times and. A lot of the time I don't care that they've moved on.
You won't break bread with them.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm really sad to see Jordan Harvey go. He's just felt part of this team from the start. I know he joined halfway through the first season.
Yeah.
But he's just been here for so long. He's like part of the furniture. He's got BC Place tattooed on him.
Yeah. Some people will say he's slow as furniture.
I know.
But they didn't know.
He's a polarizing guy.
No, but you say polarizing, but most of the tweets to him that I saw were very positive and thanking him. So nobody was really that rude to him.
I had some people saying to me that they were glad he was gone.
Well, maybe privately, but nobody publicly said it.
They didn't copy him.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple did. Though, which,
dickish.
I know, but he's gone to LAFC. We expected that, going to the expansion team. Nice tweet to reveal it. Him and his daughter, they're going to be wearing black and gold. I thought he joined East Fife.
Oh, okay.
I was excited for a moment.
I thought they were blue and gold.
No, we're black and gold.
Oh, okay.
So Jordan Harvey, he's going to LA, California lad. He's going to have a great time there. It's just, I would have liked him to finish his career as a Whitecap. He loves the city. I think he still has a lot to offer as well.
It's not feasible when especially in a salary cap that somebody can air unless they absolutely are willing to take a pay cut. And Zach has talked about before, nobody's going to take a pay cut if somebody's going to offer more money.
No. He was a free agent, and
he's going back to, like you said, going back to California. Yeah. His wife owns, is able to continue her career.
Yeah, Kim Caldwell.
It's better for her in LA, California. For her to do, whether it's acting or singing or whatever she does. So it's all obviously better for the whole family. And he's close to the family now.
Yeah, I wish him well, wish him all the very best, apart from when he plays against the Whitecaps, obviously. But I still think he has a lot to offer. Whether he'll be a starter or a backup in LA, we'll just have to wait and see. But of course, another big reason that we're going to miss Jordan Harvey is he is the guy that he was my go-to guy
to start off everything.
All these podcast segments that we've done for the last couple of seasons.
I think it's Marinovic you're going to have to go for now.
Yeah, Marinovic is now. He's my new go-to guy. Yeah. But it was always Jordan, whether it was food, whether it was digestives, whether it was teammates, takeout stuff.
Music, books.
Yeah, it was always him. So let's play our final segment that we recorded with Jordan. And, of course, he's going to kick off a new segment because that's what he does.
A one-day segment.
Yeah, just for this episode of the show. We spoke to a lot of different Whitecaps players about what their Christmas traditions were, what Christmas Day is like in their household. So let's see what Christmas is like in the Harvey household.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
What does Christmas dinner look like for the Harvey family?
Christmas dinner is pretty standard. For me, it's Christmas morning. We do a brunch. And I know I'm going off topic, but this is where we get this. This is where I get excited, is because we have this thing my mom makes called goldenrod egg. And that is a secret that I can't tell you. But it's like biscuits with like a cream egg sauce on top with a little sprinkled yolk on it. It is unbelievable. And my brother genuinely gets upset if my mom doesn't make it for Christmas morning. And so, every Christmas morning we have this goldenrod egg, it's called. And, that's our Christmas morning ritual. For dinner, we usually have, like ham, turkey, stuff like that, stuffing, just kind of like Thanksgiving. But Christmas morning is where it's at.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
Hey. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day, that is what Christmas is like in the Harvey household. And of course they'll be celebrating it, probably in LA this year. But he talked there about his mum's special egg recipe, which he would not give us the details of. He gave us, when we spoke to him before, his little tip about what to do when we got frozen yoghurt and put some matcha at the bottom. He said put a sweet treat before you put your yoghurt in, and we followed that. We did that a couple of times. So, good luck to Jordan Harvey there. And we've got some more players talking about Christmas dinner throughout the show. But now, it's time for some Christmas questions and answers.
Questions and answers, honesty lies. Yes, no you can't, but you can if you know why.
Yes, we're going to do this throughout the show, keeping the Christmas theme going. And we're going to have some Christmas emergency questions and answers. Now, just to explain what this is, there's a comedian in the UK called Richard Herring. And he has his own podcast, and he records it in a theatre in London. And he has this thing called emergency questions. So when he has guests on the podcast and they run out of ideas to talk about, he dips into his book of emergency questions. So he brought that out as a book, and then for Christmas he brought out his book of Christmas emergency questions. So I'm going to ask you guys some of these just now. So there's no right or wrong answers to this. It's just some discussion points about Christmas.
But we'll be judged.
Will be judged by the listeners and probably by me as well. So let's kick this off. Everyone knows the Christmas story. Mm-hmm. 3 wise men went to the little baby Jesus.
I thought you meant the movie.
Yeah, me too.
That's what the first thing that came in my mind.
That's what I thought too. Anyways.
He brought gold, frankincense and myrrh. Yeah. Now, gold obviously isn't a bad gift. But frankincense and myrrh, it smacks of a last-minute visit to Bethlehem's late-night garage. What would you have brought the baby Jesus if you'd been one of the wise men? Or in a modern-day setting, what would you bring the baby Jesus these days?
I think... see, the thing is, I'm assuming that Joseph and Mary are going to be busy running from the Romans, and they might not be able to spend too much time with Jesus, so I would get him an iPad. Keep him busy sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't condone. I forgot condone and condemn. Whatever. I don't advocate giving an iPad to a kid, but sometimes you got to keep him busy when you're doing something. So little bit at a time. You give them to. Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing, sort of. Not an iPad.
So was I, actually.
I said like an iPhone or something, only thinking about the modern day thing, because I have no idea what an alternative would be.
Well, I mean, back then, I'd try and give him a hotel voucher.
Or maybe like a camel. Because you want to travel a little bit. It's better than one. I think one
I
would
like
be
my
good
2
enough.
humps.
You get more stability that way, I think.
Oh, true. But yeah, I think we're all agreed on an iPad. So, second question for this section. You were tracking Santa earlier, but where is he now, actually?
Let me just ask the question.
Okay, so it seems impossible, really, that Santa Claus can get around all the houses in the world in just one night. But he clearly manages it, because we all know that. What's your personal theme? Well, before
Chihuahua, Mexico.
Chihuahua? So he's still in Mexico.
He's heading for Chihuahua, Mexico. He just was in Mexico City.
Maybe he's picking up some Chihuahuas. Remember, a dog is not for life.
No.
A dog is for life.
Not for Christmas.
Yeah, not for Christmas. Although it would be good to come up with a business, a dog is for Christmas, and you just rent out dogs to people for Christmas Day. I think that'd be a great business. Anyway, going back to Santa, what's your personal theory of how he achieves getting around the world in one night and getting all these presents?
Time travel, obviously.
Oh, time
That's
travel.
the only answer. That's the only...
I would, going back to, obviously everybody knows I like superheroes. I would say that he has the powers of the Flash. And he gets around really fast.
Oh, now, does that mean there's alternate? There's like Earth 2 and Earth 3 and...
Could be.
I just put it down to cloning.
Oh,
that we actually think that there's just one Santa, but he's actually cloned himself. But they're only like 24-hour clones. They automatically combust after that.
Oh, you mean like a self-destruct button?
Yeah.
And only the original
stays? And then only the original is ever left. Whenever I think of cloning, though, I do think of that Family Guy episode with Stewie, where Stewie made all those extra versions of himself, and they all went horribly wrong. Yeah. Sticking with the Santa, then, how do you think Rudolph ended up with his red nose?
I'm thinking the Russians had something to do with it. Nuclear testing up in the Arctic and radiation poisoning. That's what my guess is.
I was going to say something about drugs, but that's probably not appropriate.
Oh, I don't know if they do drug testing. I'm going to go with rosacea, because that's what I have, and I'd like to feel that I am part of the Rudolph reindeer community. But it was a shame for him. He was picked on for his red nose. Okay, here's another one then. What is your favourite Christmas film?
I'm going to go back. We talked about it earlier in part 1. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that earlier.
Yeah.
Caitlin?
I think I would have to say the Rudolph again. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
See, I'm torn between A Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a good one.
That I've always loved, but it's like, is it a Christmas film? Is it a Halloween film?
Yeah.
It's like an Elf. I
love
Elf.
Elf is that's if I was going to go modern, I would go Elf or even Die Hard. I love Die Hard.
See, I know everyone thinks that's a Christmas film. I just don't think of it as a Christmas movie.
For me, it's a Christmas movie. If it happens during Christmas, like the same one with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that's a Christmas movie to me too.
And Gremlins too, I guess. If you
Gremlins for sure.
So, last question for this section. If Jesus was to come back today, and many people, of course, believe that he will, and he saw what Christmas had become, what do you think he would make of it nowadays, and what would surprise him the most about maybe your own celebrations of Christmas?
I don't know what would surprise him. I personally think he'd have no issues with it. If he is Jesus, I think he'd be very forgiving, whatever people are doing, and he'd be just happy that people are having fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, I think he'd be really
He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
I think he'd be surprised that so many people that aren't Christian celebrate Christmas. And, of course, there's the whole, what would you think of the commercialism of it? And in the first part of the show, I had 3 songs about cynicism and commercialism at Christmas, but I had to cut them out.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe feature them at some other point. But I think he'd be surprised at what it had become. But we'll be back with some more questions and answers in later parts, and we'll be back with more Christmas chat after these messages.
Surprise at the gifts we despise of the old one with you on the 25th day of the 12th month. The sleigh bells are on time, ringing true. How we cling each other to that snowflake's hope in hell that it will end.
The darkness there with Christmas time, just let the bells end. I still think they should call the away end at BC Place the bell end.
That's not bad. and they can play this song all the time.
Yeah, it's usually full of bell wings as well, especially when Seattle come and visit.
And just a Santa update again. Colorado Springs, he's back in America. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh,
he's
is
heading
he
for Bolo.
USL contract maybe?
Yeah, possibly. And he's heading to Boulder. Now he's in Colorado. We know what's legal in Colorado. Hopefully he doesn't secondhand smoke and take it in. And
his
everything
ding dong's
like
going to get merrily on high.
Yeah. That's going to be unfortunate if that happens for all the kids at home. So obviously we got MLS news. A lot of stuff happening. New team.
Yes.
Somebody was gifted a new team this week.
Terrible.
You're not a big fan, obviously.
Now, I've nothing against Nashville as a city. I know Nashville's been fantastic in the NHL market, and they've got a...
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it when they got that team either.
They've got a lot of potential. I get all that. But you have to reward people that have put money into lower level soccer in the US for years.
For sure.
Now, I know Cincinnati's just 2 years old. Sacramento's 4 years old. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. These are owners and people that have put money into lower league soccer, growing a club, not just a franchise, having community involvement, having academies, having a youth setup. What kind of message does that give people if you do all that and you still just give it to someone else because they've got more money and they've got richer owners and deeper pockets, which seems to be the rumour.
And the thing is, well, obviously, because there was a story out, I think I saw somewhere where Sacramento was looking for additional owners now.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't feel the ownership group was strong enough.
I think it was Evan Ream, who's been a long-time Sacramento Republic reporter, that said that deep pockets did seem to be an issue.
Yeah.
And that just saddens me, absolutely saddens me that is the case.
And the thing is it doesn't make sense to me in a way, because they build this league like, everybody's on a level field no matter how strong your city is and stuff like that. So it's surprising to me that they're so concerned about having a good owner, like deep pockets and everything, because everybody's sharing the wealth, it seems like. But obviously that's not the case. That's just what they want to show everybody.
Yeah,
they want to show everybody that's parodies going on in MLS, but it doesn't seem like it at all. I
mean, this is not obviously ruling out Sacramento and Cincinnati, and
I thought they were going to name two.
Well, I think one is waiting until January, and you have to think Cincinnati's the shoe in January. I still don't know if all the stuff that's happening with Columbus is messing things up a little bit for Cincinnati, because the MLS don't want to add a new team in Ohio when they might be taking another team away from Ohio. I don't know if perceptions and optics is playing a role in that, but we'll see. Some other MLS news. Timbers have a new coach, Giovanni Savarese.
Yeah.
Finally getting a chance to coach
Cosmos
in MLS.
ex-coach.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts another nail in NASL's.
Yeah. He seems a good coach, and he seems a good hire by the Timbers. Of course, when you're at the Timbers, you do have Merritt Paulson and you do have Gavin Wilkinson breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
Lots of rumours that was kind of the final straw for Caleb Porter. He'd had enough and wanted to get out. So hopefully Savarese, in some sense, can deal with that. Hopefully he can, because it would be nice to see the Timbers in turmoil.
Yeah.
That would be a nice wish for 2018.
For sure. And we talked about earlier Donald Henry joining the Whitecaps. A lot of MLS movement also going around all over the league. Players leaving. Looks like they're leaving for good. One former Whitecap.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players coming in for some huge amounts.
Yeah. Kekuta Mane looks all set. I mean, he might... Reports are mixed, but it looks like he has signed or he's about to sign with Pachuca in Mexico.
Maybe Santa just dropped him off.
Yeah, maybe that's where he is just now.
Yeah.
And a good move for him, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what his Spanish is like, but he did grow up in Austin, Texas, so you have to feel he's pretty good with some Spanish. I don't know. I think a good move for him.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a level up, something to prove himself, and then obviously the European teams that are interested in him will keep tabs on him, and if he makes an impact like another former Whitecap did in Mexico.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's younger than Camilo was.
Yes.
And so he maybe has definitely still a chance to go to Europe.
And the Whitecaps get nothing now that he's gone to Pachuca, so that's the end of the trade. It looked like it kept giving, but unfortunately it's not. But yes, some crazy big money, big name moves are being mooted. None confirmed yet. Alejandro Romero Gamara, a 22-year-old Argentine winger, looks all set to go to New York Red Bulls, or he has joined New York Red Bulls. $6.25 million.
Rumoured, yeah.
Yeah, now that's a lot of money to pay for a 22-year-old, but I like it.
Yeah.
You're bringing in talented young guys to the league, which for me is long overdue.
Yeah, remember they increased the TAM too for. It wasn't TAM. We were calling it YAM.
Yeah,
for youth allocation
it's
money.
all very confusing.
So maybe it might be some of that money going into this.
You also
as well.
have like young designated players and stuff. That obviously he's on a super duper $6.25 million transfer fee though. But it is good to see clubs paying that for young players. And not playing that for over-the-hill players.
And the Fire is going after a couple of players too.
Yeah. Iker Casillas, probably murdered that
keeper.
name. Yeah, the Spanish keeper, and Colombian Juan Quintero,
Yeah.
who's been linked to them before, but it looks like they're making another play for that. Galaxy are chasing Perry Kitchen, who had made the move from DC United to Hearts in Scotland, but then has been in Denmark with Randers.
Yeah.
And of course, big money Atlanta. I find this far-fetched, but they're linked with Ezequiel Barco from Independiente, who they turned down a $12.5 million bid for him.
From Atlanta? Or
No,
from somebody
from
else?
somewhere else. But
Okay.
it looks like Atlanta's prepared to go to $22.5 million for
Now-
him. But I don't know.
Now, when I see that, I'm thinking that, especially with them picking up Nagby as well, do you know where Barco plays?
No idea.
Okay. So I'm assuming he's probably an attacker if he's going for that amount of money. And he's a young player. Maybe they are really ready to move on from Miguel Almiron, and maybe he's the guy that's going to go in order to make it, because he was rumored to be, Atlanta was rumored to get like 24-25 million for him. So if they get him for 25, they pay 22 for him.
Then it makes total sense.
Yeah,
That's
so
fantastic.
and they got Nagby too.
Yeah.
So it kind of, if you think of it, you get Barco and Nagby for what Almiron's going to get.
As
So
we've talked about for 3 weeks now on the trot, it's
Yeah.
like Atlanta's building a hell of a good team.
yeah, but you got to expect if somebody's coming in like that, there's going to be somebody going out.
Yeah.
too.
So that's kind of the MLS news for the week. Now, talked about how there are some football-related Christmas songs out there. Not a lot, and a lot of them aren't very good. But this is a cover of John Lennon's classic, Happy Christmas, War is Over, from 1981 by Glenn Hoddle and the Tottenham Hotspur squad. Mostly by Glenn Hoddle, the Spurs kind of squad come in the end. So Salish C, our good friend Chris Corrigan, AFTN writer, will enjoy this being a Spurs fan. So let's hear this version of Happy Christmas, War is Over.
So this is Christmas, and what have we done? Another year over, a new one just begun. So this is Christmas, and I hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one.
So this is Christmas, we can hold strong, the rich and the poor ones, the road is so long. So happy Christmas, for black and for white, for the yellow and red ones, let's stop all the fights.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope
Happy Christmas, War is Over by Glenn Hoddle and the Tottenham Hotspur squad from 1981 and 1982. And we'll have some more football-related songs coming up later in the show. But for now, it's time for some more questions and answers.
Honesty lies. Yes, no, you can't, but you can if you know why.
Yes, we're back with some more Christmas questions and answers, courtesy of comedian Richard Herring.
Santa heading over to Casper, Wyoming.
Ooh,
So that's not
so he's
too
back
far
in the
away.
States. He's
Yes.
left Chihuahua. Oh no, he was already
He
back
was,
in
yeah,
the
Colorado. But I don't know what kind of condition he'll be in.
So we've played a lot of Christmas music tonight. Of course, the 12 Days of Christmas is a well-known Christmas song. But how long would you keep going out with a true love who spent the 12 days of Christmas mainly saddling you with birds and other animals that would require a lot of effort to keep fed and housed and a lot of expense as well? I mean, would you appreciate those gifts?
Yeah, I would. I like animals and naturey things and stuff.
Well, what would you do with Lords of Leaping? Oh, that many of them.
I'm sure that some of those things are rented. I don't think you
Well,
can.
that's true.
So you just
'Cause
rent the
then you-
Lords Leaping and then give them
'cause
back?
No, because Lords Leaping, that's people. That's, if you buy them, that's slavery. I think slavery's illegal. So I'm thinking maybe that's just a rental.
Well, maybe. The Partridge in a Pear Tree would be fun because you'd have pears and a partridge.
Yeah.
The gold,
I keep the golden
yeah,
rings.
the
obviously.
gold
Yeah.
rings is, I think,
Especially if
the thing
they're
that everyone
engraved
would
on the
want.
inside with Lord of the Rings kind of elven.
Oh.
That'd be really cool.
But there's only meant to be one ring.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe 5 golems.
Oh, maybe.
Now I put this one in because in the book there's like over 300 of these. Some of them maybe weren't very appropriate, so I didn't put those in. But I put this one in the hope that Zach was going to make it along. But I got a text from him. He's been caught up with family stuff, so it doesn't look like he's going to make it on the show in person
Oh,
or on the phone.
He's going to have to wait to open his gift.
Yeah, it's quite good because the one I ordered for him hasn't arrived.
Then. Yeah.
So, does it ever worry you that Santa is an anagram of Satan, and that perhaps Father Christmas motives aren't all that good?
Well, you got Krampus. People talk about Krampus
yeah,
and some
that's-
people. I think
yeah.
it's Germany mostly, Krampus.
You get a lot of Krampus about once a month, don't you?
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
We'll cut that out. No, but obviously a lot of people talk about that. The people that claim there's a war on Christmas, you kind of point to Santa all the time.
Yeah.
So, but I don't have a problem with Santa. Although he was created, I think, for people. He was brought in view for people by Coca-Cola,
Yes.
apparently. So,
Yeah.
created.
I
Some
just-
people say created, but
I-
obviously I think he's been around forever.
I love Santa.
well, Kris Kringle, right? That's where it comes from in Germany.
Yeah.
I was in Brentwood Mall on Friday getting a follow-up for my tooth, and going up the escalator, it was kind of weird because Santa was sitting there and there was 2 really pretty girls in their late 20s sitting on his lap and playing with him, getting their photo taken with
Yeah,
him.
no,
It's-
that happens a lot. My kids go see the one in a White Rock area, and there's in front of us there were 2 sets of couples, adults that were looking to take pictures of Santa. So it's not an uncommon thing.
I guess we did go and see him in Lapland, as we said earlier.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
So there's no ulterior motives there. Which toy advert, I don't know what it was like over here, but which toy advert made you want that toy being advertised the most? Or what toy adverts do you remember on TV from your childhood? Did you get a lot of them?
Yeah, no, we got it. I got it. Always watched a ton. I would say the original Transformers were probably the biggest toy advert I remember, and also maybe G.I. Joe, one of the two. I would claim those two.
I don't remember anything like wanting anything specifically from TV commercials and things like that. I was kind of a weird child, so I wanted my own thing, like Calvin and Hobbes comic books and
Yeah.
stuff, not Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever.
But the funny thing is, the toy, they're not even toy adverts. Somebody was talking about it earlier. I was in the link for Twitter or whatever, in the the chat or whatever. And the 2 commercials that I remember the most, one that was mentioned in there was Ravine, the man they called Ravine.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that.
Oh, I knew that song. I would say I met a guy named Ravine too, so I would always sing it to him whenever I saw him. And then the other one was the Captain. A lot of people know about the Captain. He was a guy who had a thrift store, like a trade pawn shop.
Ah.
And he was always hi, goodbye, or something like that. Aye, and goodbye. That was it. And those are the 2 ads I remember from my childhood. Nothing to do with toys, though.
See, we only had 3 stations on TV when I was a kid. BBC One, BBC Two and ITV.
Yeah.
And the 2 BBC ones didn't have adverts, so you
Yeah.
only had whatever ITV showed. So on a Saturday morning you had shows like Tiswas, Saturday Banana. I used to watch all that. I always remember that there was an advert for the game Mousetrap. I don't know if you
Oh, no,
guys
we
had
did. We
that.
had Mousetrap. Yeah.
That was on constantly, and I never ever got Mousetrap as
Yeah.
a game. And I kind of feel I missed out. I should, although we have had our own mouse problem this year that maybe...
It usually didn't work too well.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't. It
Our,
wasn't.
our
it
mouse
wasn't-
traps at home didn't work. Although it did in the end, 11 mice we ended up catching. I never did give an update on that.
Yeah.
But we released Maxwell. Maxwell was the first. He was safe.
Yeah. Santa is in Montana now.
Oh.
Getting closer.
Now, Christmas crackers. I still like them. I know they're a bit of a waste of money. And obviously they come with crappy jokes, but as does this show. And paper hats. Now, do you wear your paper hat? And what's the longest time that you can remember wearing a paper hat for? Like, do you keep it on all day?
No, I never wear a paper hat. I'm sorry, I can't recall ever wearing one.
Oh, I always put it on. I like pulling my cracker
Oh.
just before I eat the meal, and then I have it on during the meal and often after into the early evening watching TV.
No.
We
No.
didn't do crackers growing up. We didn't have crackers in my family at Christmas, so I didn't even know about them till meeting you and going to the UK. I'd never even heard of them.
Huh.
So
Weird, you Canadians. And the last question for this segment. At what point in the day, and we kind of covered this in the first part of the podcast when we talked about Christmas traditions with a number of people, but at what point in the day do you open your Christmas presents? And how do you feel about families who choose to do it at a different time? Would you be prepared to go to war to eradicate these heretics?
No, we like I said before, we opened it after breakfast, so 9 o'clock-ish, probably 9:30. And although we do open a few gifts the night before, the kids do.
Just want to read a tweet that we got in from Mundial at Andrada32015 on Twitter. He says, my family usually waits until 12 a.m. on December 25th, so very soon, 33 minutes to open presents. Although he's a TFC fan, so I think he could be back out east. They have Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve and they open presents from family. On Christmas morning, the kids open their Santa present. This year, he says, he's lucky to celebrate Christmas with the MLS Cup. Boo. Anyway, let's get back to some more Whitecaps insight into what their Christmas day is like with Gordon Forrest, who tells us what Christmas is like in the Forrest household.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
What does Christmas dinner look like in the Forrest household?
It's a busy affair, obviously with 3 children and me and the wife. But yeah, we are traditional Christmas dinner: the turkey, the roast potatoes, the chipolatas as we call them, the sausage with bacon around it. You know, mashed potatoes. Your carrots, your Brussels sprouts, your as much as we can fit on the plates, and we're quite traditional.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old mountain tune. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling it's years from me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold, but the windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me.
pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunk folk were singing. We kissed on a corner, then danced through the night. The boys
Fairy Tale of New York there. One of my favourite all-time Christmas songs. Yours as well, Steve?
Yeah, for sure. Like the first time I heard it, I thought, "Oh my God, this is gonna be a depressing song. Why are they playing this on like when Much Music actually played music?" I saw the video the first time, and then actually I picked up, and it actually was I thought it was a great song.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The Pogues and Kirsty MacColl, no relation to myself, sadly, because I'd be very rich.
Yeah, you could hit her off some money.
Yeah, but yeah, fantastic song. And we played a song earlier from Goldie Luke and Chain, and they have their Christmas album, which is called A Fairy Tale of Newport instead of New York.
Oh, wow.
So that's all stuff about Newport and Wales. So that was fantastic.
So Santa update. We should talk about he's back in Canada. Hit Calgary. Benedictine hitting Fort McMurray. Those people, they suffered through a forest fire a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's good for them to see little Santa there.
Yep.
He's delivered over 6 billion gifts.
Oh,
a lot of gifts
busy
there.
guy.
So I think as soon as he hits Fort McMurray, we might swing by, the Yukon, maybe hit Alaska, and then he'll be hitting BC here soon.
26 minutes till Santa time. And I had a word with the big guy when I saw him in the mall on Friday, and he did say he was hoping to drop into the studio, so we'll hopefully get him in. Can't stay long, he said, but he'll hopefully come in. But Christmas is about a lot of things, and it's like spending time with family, spending time with friends. Christmas Day, there's the food, there's also the games. You can't have Christmas without some games. So I thought, everyone loves this game that we play in the AFTN soccer show, so why not have a little bit of Christmas Countdown? Yes, it's Christmas Countdown time, everyone. We might just play one round of this because we're kind of getting a little bit pushed for time, but we might play two if we have so much fun. And what we're going to do...
Basically, if Michael wins, we'll probably play two.
Well, basically, if we lose, I'll probably want to play again.
Oh, that's
just to
true.
make sure that I win.
Yeah.
But what we used to do is we try and make words that you have to try and tie in with a soccer connection. So it could be you come up with green because the pitch is green. But for Christmas, we're going to play some Christmas Countdown, where you have to come up with words that are Christmas related. So again, you could have green because of all the green Christmas trees and stuff like that. Now, Caitlin, you've never been on the show before.
No.
So we'll get you to pick the letters. You can pick up to 9 letters, a maximum of 7 consonants, a maximum of 4 vowels. So what would you like?
I'll say 5 consonants and 3 vowels.
Okay, and then leaving 1 to see what you get. Okay,
Sure.
So let's see. Consonants. S, a good start. N, another good start. Another S. And another N.
Oh, jeez.
Snosberry. No.
Another S.
Did you shuffle these?
I did. Obviously, I shuffled them, which I shouldn't have done because it's put all the S's and N's together. So we have S, N, S, N, S. Let's see what 3 consonants we come up with. Sorry, what 3 vowels we come up with.
All three E's.
A.
Okay.
A.
Oh, my God.
And E. So you have one more letter to pick, Caitlin. What would you like? I highly recommend a consonant.
Yeah, okay. Consonant, then.
A Q. Okay, so just to go over those letters for everyone at home. I think we might play a second round of this. S for sugar. N for numpty.
I was going to suggest that too.
S, N, S. So S, N, S, N, S. A, E, and Q. And your 30 seconds start now. And that's your 30 seconds up. Caitlin, how many have you got?
I have nothing. Well, if this was a Game of Thrones version of Countdown, I would have Sansa, so that would be awesome. But other than that, I don't have anything. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
nothing.
disappointing. Steve?
Yeah.
I got a 4-letter word.
Oh, I've got a 5. So what's your 4, Steve?
It's sane.
Oh.
People try to stay sane
Yes,
during Christmas
but
time.
it doesn't really work. I
Sure.
We did parka for soccer, so this should work.
No, sane's good.
Yeah. I thought you said it didn't work.
No, it doesn't work that people stay sane.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood there.
I thought you were saying his answer. No.
Oh,
that's not-
no, his work. Mine's is asses. ASSES. Because if you look at the nativity scene, there's always lots of donkeys there. Obviously, donkeys also called asses. So asses for 5.
Oh, okay.
So let's play one more round of that, because that was a terrible set of letters.
Yeah.
So Steve, you can pick this time.
Okay, let's go for 4 and 2 initially.
Okay. So 4 consonants, and we're starting off with a T for Channy. Or Tony would be better.
That would just throw everybody off.
T for Tony. Z. W. And B for Bobble.
And 2 vowels.
A. And I. So you have 3 more letters to pick.
Okay, I will take one more consonant.
Another T. 2 more.
And another consonant.
H.
And then 1 vowel.
And your last letter is an I. So just to go over this for everyone at home. T, Z, W, B, A, I, T, H, I. And your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, time up. Caitlin?
4.
I'm
Steve?
4 as well.
I'm 4 as well. So, Caitlin, what's your 4?
Wait. WAIT. As like waiting in line
Yeah.
to do your Christmas shopping
Yep.
and
The Christmas wait.
all that stuff.
Waiting
Waiting
for-
for Christmas.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have bath.
Yeah, that's what I had as
because
well.
after doing this Christmas show, it's so hot in here, I'm going to need a bath when I get home.
Oh, see, I thought it's more that if you don't know what to buy, the women in your life, you just get her bath bombs. Oh, sorry to spoil your Christmas presents there, Caitlin, but yeah, you have a lot of bath bombs.
Not homemade ones. Aw.
No, sorry. I've let you down again for
Next
Christmas.
year.
So that was Christmas countdown. Do you know, this always looks like it's going to be more fun in my head.
The problem is, I think they're just the letters. This one was not too bad. The first one was horrendous.
I don't know, I won, so I was quite happy with that.
Yeah,
so.
obviously.
Yeah. So that's countdown for this. So we're back talking about Christmas dinners, and this time we're heading east to New York, New Jersey. Tim Parker telling us what Christmas is like in the Parker household.
Kind of a fairy tale in New York for him.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
What's Christmas dinner like in the Parker household?
Big. The Parker household for Christmas Day is like 50 of us. So there's probably 2 turkeys, ham, potatoes, green beans, cranberry sauce. I mean, there's a whole array of things that go on that dinner.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas.
Tim Parker has a lot of people at his house.
He does.
He reminds me actually about when I was younger, because when we would have, like, there's about, in my dad's side of the family, there was about 20 plus my 2 grandparents, so that's 22. And then if we went to my certain uncle's house, whose wife, my aunt obviously, brought her family over because it would be the same house. There's I'd say about 20 people in their family as well, or maybe 16 or something like that. So we get up to about 40 people pretty easily.
Yeah, see, I'm an only child, so we all always just had quiet Christmases. I'm not used to like having big Christmases.
And
plus, our family didn't get on, so it's just me and my mum and my gran.
And then the thing is when we have that many people, there's an Indian game. It's called Bobby. It's basically it's a card game. You got to get rid of your cards, and essentially in the game, there's no winner. There's just one loser. So you're basically trying to get the person to just one person trap them and get them out of the game.
Cool. So now it's time for some more emergency Christmas questions and answers.
Questions and answers, honesty lies. Yes, no you can't, but you can if you know why.
So we're going to start this question off with an actual question, and it's only you two that's going to take part.
Oh.
I want you to write down how many ghosts visited Jacob Marley in A Christmas Carol.
What?
Tell me how many ghosts... Oh, no, how many ghosts visited Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol?
You kind of gave it away.
Well,
Yeah.
Because that's the trick.
Yep.
Everybody always thinks it's a certain number, but then you give the
I
first one.
bollocks that up.
yeah.
But the answer is...
The answer is 4.
Four,
Because
yeah.
Jacob Marley was a
Is the
ghost
first
himself.
ghost,
ghost,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
I was like,
See,
what are
no,
you
but I
talking
knew
about?
I knew that anyways even before you said that because that's the one that always gets people because people think past, present,
Yeah.
future,
And that's all,
then
yeah.
and you guys watch it every year, so
Yeah.
that would have been you're trying to get Caitlin to win there.
Well, unless I was talking about a Muppet Christmas Carol, because I believe there's a 5th ghost in that. I can't remember who it is, but I think there's a 5th ghost.
I like that one.
Right, back to some other questions then. Christmas dinner. We've just been hearing a lot about that. The music, by the way, Christmas Dinner and Christmas Day, is by Goldie Looking Chain from their Christmas album. Friends of the show. I have to get them on the show, I think. I have to get them over here touring if they're allowed with all their drugs. At Christmas dinner, which of the trimmings could you do without? Is there any that you don't like, or if someone was said you can't have any more of that, you'd be happy with it?
Well, I don't do it. We don't do a traditional Christmas. We don't like do turkey stuffing and stuff like that, or goose or whatever they do in Christmas
yes.
Carol. If I were to give anything up, geez, nothing really. I like everything we usually have. It's hard for me to give anything
I can
up.
take or leave the cranberry jelly, I've got to say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't usually eat the cranberry sauce.
I miss chipolatas.
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of... I mean, there's nothing nicer than, like, playing with your little fun-sized sausage on Christmas
See,
Day.
today we had appies, which was spinach dip and nachos bean dip, and then we went Indian with karahi paneer and malai kofta.
And you
with
brought us
naan.
some samosas
Yeah,
tonight, which
samosas,
thank you so much. They
and
are
so
delicious.
really, it's hard for me to give up anything of that.
Yeah, we went for a Christmas high tea today for the first time at
Yeah.
Secret Garden in Kerrisdale. It was really, really nice.
And did you have any issues afterwards, or you guys were able to get home?
we were
I have
good.
needed to pee a lot since,
Okay.
because that was... Steve knows that last time we went for high tea, because the tea just keeps on coming, and then so does the pee afterwards. But that's a story for another day. Okay, what's your preferred term for a sexy Christmas? Sexmas or triple Xmas?
I would go Sexmas.
I would say triple Xmas, I think.
Oh, see, I prefer Sexmas as well. If you're listening at home, you can tweet us what you feel for all these questions. Give us your answers. Now, would you prefer to live in a house made of gingerbread or a house made of candy canes? Remembering that we live in Vancouver as well.
Yeah, with the rain.
Because the thing is, honestly, it would melt the the candy canes too.
Yeah, both things would
Both
dissolve
things
in the
would
rain.
dissolve, yeah. But I think because both are like one you got issue with gluten. That's too much bread, and the other one's too much sugar.
Yes, you don't want soggy bread falling on your head either.
No.
But would it not be easier to patch a gingerbread house roof if there was a hole in
Yeah,
it?
probably.
But candy
It'd be
canes
easier
would go
to
really
repair.
rock hard in the summer as well, so you'd
Yeah.
be totally safe for a while.
I
with
think
that.
gingerbread. I think you're right. I think gingerbread might be the best.
I would go with gingerbread, I think. And the last question for this section. Does it concern you that Santa's ho-ho-ho catchphrase is very close to being a pirate's yo-ho-ho catchphrase, like he's trying to hide a secret past? Would that explain how he gets the money to make all these presents?
No, that's just a weird laugh. Just a jolly type of laugh. A belly laugh.
Yeah, I don't have
That's
any
all.
issues with it. No,
Okay.
I'm okay with it. Even if it was something like that, so that's good. You know, he's been putting the money to good use.
Well, how's Santa doing now? Where is he?
He is actually crossed into British Columbia. He's heading to. Oh no, sorry. He is actually over the border of Yukon Territory and Northwest, and he's heading into British Columbia. He'll be in Cranbrook, BC, in about 4 minutes.
Oh, in less than 12 minutes till he's coming to town.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's kill some time by playing this. So a more upbeat version of Santa
by Darlene Love.
Baby, Please Come Home.
Written by Phil Spector, who I think is in jail now.
He is.
For murdering people. His wife, Ronnie Spector, was going to sing the song originally, but Darlene Love, they felt had a bit more oomph in it, and I think she did.
Yeah, I mean,
she blew it out of the park. I love this song.
That is better than my Arab Strap version. I do like my Arab Strap version, just for the.
Well, you can play both.
Yeah,
you could start out slow and then big it up.
We have played both.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a fantastic song there. So we're going to have a little bit more chat about some soccer now just before Santa arrives, and some BC Soccer Web headlines. BC Soccer Web Headlines is brought to you in partnership with bcsoccerweb.com, your one-stop site for news, links, reviews, everything you could hope for from local, national and international soccer news. bcsoccerweb.com, make sure they're part of your daily routine.
And just to give an update, Santa is out of Cranbrook. He is hopping over to Montana a little bit just to finish up Montana. And Montana is the big sky country. So
I always like Joe Montana. He's a sporting hero of mine.
Oh, for sure. Former 49er, Kansas City Chief. Okay, so now it was light on news. BC Soccer Web, Mr. BC Soccer Web decided to take a lot of the week off, and understandably so. You don't want to, you don't want to worry about soccer too much during the week of Christmas. But he did post some, and we were going to talk about another piece that came out afterwards. He stopped posting. First of all, Court of Arbitration of Sport has banned Ecuadorian soccer player Jose Angulo for 4 years after he tested positive for cocaine at the 2016 Copa Libertadores finals. This was more than the Peruvian player got. So maybe he probably had a secondary ban or something like that, or some because he received a one year suspension from South America soccer body CONMEBOL. So obviously they're going a little harsher on him. Russia 2018 spot on the line. FIFA is warning Spanish government to keep out of football. I think they
should also keep out of Catalonia, but that's just,
I think that probably has something to do with it. They're kind of they're intervening there and putting their foot in that too. And there's other things too that they're taking care of. So definitely I recommend reading for that. Obviously, we talked about MLS expansion into Nashville. They also revealed their 22 invites to the Caribbean Combine. So it's gonna be interesting. Personally, I don't recognize any of these players. But there was a former Whitecap that was drafted that I think went to the Caribbean Combine. I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a blank on
Dever Orgill.
No, the one that made the flip. He was part of the Cosmos.
Oh, Andre Lewis.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. He flipped in Victoria. Didn't land it, but he flipped. Final bit of headline here. The FIFA Gate scandal. 2 of the officials have been found guilty. Those are Juan Angel Nepo of Paraguay, the former top soccer official of South America, and Jose Marie Moran, a former top official of Brazil. The other one, I'm trying to find his name here. He's the one that Mr. Berga. He's the one that made that his throat was itchy when he was being testified against.
He wasn't threatening to kill.
He wasn't doing a slashing motion against his throat. His throat was itchy, according to his lawyers. He has not been. The judges asked the jury to keep working on that one because they are kind of undecided. It's kind of close to a hung jury right now. So they're going to reconvene on. I think it's supposed to be Tuesday when they'll be getting back together and finding out. But 2 of them have been found guilty of fraud and taking bribes and basically everything that under the book. The Brazilian person I mentioned, they're saying that he was just a scapegoat for a bigger body who we talked about last week was suspended by FIFA. So and there he's being interrogated too. So a few headlines there to talk about, and we will have obviously more information when we come back in a couple weeks from BC Soccer Web.
Yeah, so it's less than 3 minutes now till Santa hits Vancouver. So
let me just double check that.
Well, the clock here says 23:57.
Yeah, but sometimes he arrives after midnight too. He's actually in Arizona. Flagstaff, Arizona.
He'll get here. I trust him. He's going to get here.
Yeah.
So just to kill these couple of minutes, I'm going to play another Whitecap talking about what Christmas is like in their household, and it's going to be Erik Hurtado, and he's going to tell us what Christmas is like down in Oregon in the Hurtado household.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
So Erik, what does Christmas dinner look like in the Hurtado household?
So my mom will make a nice juicy honey glazed ham. She'll make some stuffing. She'll make some deviled eggs. We'll get a pumpkin pie. She makes some mashed potatoes and makes her special homemade gravy. That's about it, man.
Wow, you made me hungry.
Yeah, it was delicious, dude. It is so good. Look forward to that every year.
Cool.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
Erik Hurtado there talking about Christmas dinner in the Hurtado household. So by our clock, it's 23:58 and 40 seconds. So Santa's going to be here in just over a minute. We're very excited. As we said, he is going to drop by the studio very quickly to say hi to folk. So just while we're doing that, let's just ask you some more questions. We won't bother playing the music intro for it just to save a bit of time. So let's go back to the 12 Days of Christmas song. Now, 8 maids a milking your true love gave to you. Do you think she also gave you 8 cows, or was it expectation that you would provide the cattle from your own pocket? Because that severely devalues the gift. But if the cows were included, that actually means that she got you 16 things for that day and then just ruins the song.
I think they're assuming that you already have the 8 cows. And
you just need some help.
And just need some help on that 8th day.
But what if you don't? Like if she's just giving you 8 milkmaids dressed in their sexy milkmaid uniforms, I mean, what are you meant to do with them?
Well, maybe there would have been something else if you didn't have the cows.
Okay, here's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas!
Hello, everybody. It's Santa here to say to you all, have fun. Lots and lots of jolly fun.
Oh, Santa just quickly popped in the studio there to wish you all Merry Christmas. That was very nice of him.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. So we don't have much more left of the show, but we're going to go over a couple more quick questions here. If you had to kill and eat 2 of Santa's reindeer, if you had to.
2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which 2 would you turn into venison?
No, I definitely wouldn't do Rudolph because of the radiation issue.
True.
So I'm going to take him out.
He suffered enough as well with that red nose.
Yeah.
Bullying and everything.
I can't remember his name, but I would definitely take the coach of the reindeer, whoever that was, in the Rudolph story, because he didn't really help us, Rudolph, at all. He allowed the bullying to continue.
Oh, did he?
So he would be one of the choices. And I just go eeny, miny, moe on the rest of them.
Yep, same. I wouldn't really, as long as you're not taking the main flyer guy, which I guess is Rudolph, the navigator.
And I'd say Rudolph's dad, too, because you don't want to keep a family together.
I would say Donner and Blitzen, just because they sound German.
Well, I think
haven't forgotten the war.
I think they were named after Germans.
Haven't forgotten the war, so I definitely go for these two. Last two questions. Everyone at home will be really glad to know. Now, we talked about how Santa maybe got around the world. Now, obviously, technology is changing, so in the future, we could have robot Santas to help ease his workload. Would that take away some of the magic for you?
I would be scared, just because of Futurama. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen Futurama. I don't remember.
Santa Claus.
Oh.
So I don't know if I really want the robots taking over.
I see. We watched the Channel 4 show Humans, and they're very realistic human robots and that.
No, I've seen a few episodes here and there.
Follow-up question: is it cheating to have sex with a robot Santa?
Good question. I'm gonna say
it would just be weird because you're having sex with a Santa, whether or not
That's
he's
weird?
a robot.
I'll just take my hat off then for later.
Maybe a different area code and make a difference.
Yeah, maybe. And it's metal. I don't know. And the last question here. Obviously, a tradition nowadays is Doctor Who on Christmas Day. But this is going to be the last Doctor Who for a while, where the Doctor is played by a man. He's getting taken over. Is that going to spoil it? He's going to regenerate, I think is the word I'm looking for. Are you looking forward to future Christmas Doctor Who's now that the Doctor is turning into a woman?
I never watched Doctor Who, the Christmas specials especially. I saw always clips of them, but I never watched the full episode. I honestly have no issue with Doctor Who being a woman.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait and see. I don't have an issue at the moment. I just have to wait and see how her character actually is.
No, that's what my issue would be. I would have an issue. If I
were... It's not that she's a woman. It's just
if I was a
how
massive...
well
if I was a massive Doctor Who fan, I wouldn't care if it was a woman, but I would actually judge it depending on how well she played it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it does seem a bit weird to me because I grew up with this show. I've watched it since the early 70s.
Yeah, so you have 40 years of a man playing a role. So.
But Jodie Whittaker is a fantastic actress. I loved her in Broadchurch. But I do have to say, one of my favourite bits of Doctor Who Christmas specials is when he gets his cock out in every episode. So, I mean, that's not going to happen anymore. So that's a disappointment thing. Oh, that doesn't happen? Oh, okay, there's going to be no difference at all then. So, I mean, that should be fine. So that is our Christmas emergency questions. We've only got a few more bits to go. And we can't have an AFTN soccer show without an addition of Wavelength. And I know that you're going to think, is all these songs you've been playing not Wavelength? Well, no. We've saved the best to last. And it's old favourites of the AFTN soccer show, Half Man, Half Biscuit. And you can't have a Christmas soccer show without All I Want for Christmas is a Dukla Prague Away kit.
There was one in the gang who had scale extra, and because of that he thought he was better than you. Every day after school you'd go round there to play it, hoping to compete for some kind of championship. But it always took about 15 billion hours to set the track up, and even when you did, the thing never seemed to work. It was a dodgy transformer, again and again. A dodgy transformer, again and again. It was a dodgy transformer, again and again. A dodgy transformer that cost £3.10.
So he'd send his doting mother up the stairs with the step ladders to get the Subutio out of the loft. He had all the accessories required for that big match atmosphere, the crowd and the dugout and the floodlights too. You'd always get palmed off with a headless centre forward and a goalkeeper with no arms and a face like his. And he'd managed to get hold of a Dukla Prague away kit, cause his uncle owned a sports shop and he kept it to one side. And after only 5 minutes, you'd be down to 10 men, cause he'd sent off your right back for taking the base from under his left winger. And come to half time, you were losing 4-0. Each and every goal, a hotly disputed penalty. So he'd smash up the floodlights and the match was abandoned. And the dog would bark and you'd be banned from his house. And your travelling army of synthetic supporters would be taken away from you and thrown in the bin. Now he's working in a job with a future. He hands me my gyro every 2 weeks. And me, I'm on the lookout for a proper transformer.
Hi, I'm Carl Valentine. You're listening to the AFTN podcast.
Brush the snow up off your shoe. Inside we'll build a fire for two. Come on everyone, it's Christmas Day. The stockings are all hung with care, the children sleeping unaware. The Santa Claus will soon be on his way. And old Jack Frost is whistling out a warning, but the gang's all here to keep the cold away. Oh, how I wish for peace on earth this Christmas. Come on, come all, it's Christmas Day. It's time to share a Christmas toast on the fire, chestnuts roast.
Welcome back. You're listening to the AFTN Soccer Show on CITR Radio, broadcasting from the unceded Musqueam territory at the University of British Columbia. That was It's Christmas Day there by Bros.
Canadian band, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was Bros. I thought the UK band from the 80s had made a comeback. But, yeah, it's a nice song, that. I like that.
Yeah.
Good Canadian band. So, we've not got much more to do on this Christmas special. We were going to do our present exchange, but Zach's not made it along. But
I have his gift here.
His present hasn't made it along either, so that's quite okay.
I got his, and it's just going to be, have to wait till obviously the new year for him to open it. And yours, for me, yours didn't come in. I don't know actually, how that is. It's still in somewhere in between here and Mississauga, apparently.
Well, yours didn't arrive either.
I ordered it a month ago. I think you did too, right?
Yeah. Yours and Zach are both coming from the UK.
Okay.
Neither of them's arrived, but I do have a copy of what I've got you.
Oh, okay.
So you can at least open mine.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you your proper one when it arrives.
And I got you a gift that you had a traumatic experience earlier this year. And I wanted to not let the year go down with that traumatic experience. So I got you something that you can have a little fun with in the last segment while we're doing other things. So
I'm intrigued.
So should I open first or do you want to open first?
Oh, you can open first.
I'll open first, okay.
I've got you something that combines two of your loves.
Okay.
This is great radio.
Ooh, football's comic book heroes.
You like comic strips and you love football. Yep. So I don't know how much of these that you'll know.
I know one of them because you've talked about it before.
Roy of the Rovers is the big one.
That's the one you've talked about before. And and actually, there's a couple of clips I remember Batman and Superman actually attending soccer matches. in the comics. I remember seeing those old clips too. But no, this is fantastic.
This covers everything from the 20s up to probably about the 90s.
Yeah.
Now, the bad thing about this is when I was going through this and reading it, it then made me go and order tons of stuff off eBay.
Yeah.
So I
probably won't do that for
Yeah.
sure. I'll probably just be satisfied with this.
I've got lots of Scorcher annuals from the 70s that I went and rebought, and then it just talks about loads of things. So you'll enjoy that when it does arrive.
No, I love history because I even I remember ordering, like when we got back when there was no internet, we got the Encyclopedia Britannica. I convinced my dad to get the 24 set volume of World War II. It was 24 set volume, so I read that from almost all 24 volumes. It was fantastic. So, let me see. Oh, let me take Zach's out first. That was actually properly wrapped. Let's see, Zach.
Oh, he'll like that. Yeah, he'll definitely like
I'll tweet a picture of that so he can see it and be tantalizing for him. But you can look in there.
Okay.
I know you will probably not finish this thing, but I think you'll just have fun just starting it.
Oh, okay. I am very intrigued now. Oh.
It's just I think it's just a road to the Russia.
Yes,
so it's not the official World Cup one.
No, this is awesome. A road to I've never had one of the road ones. The Road
Yeah.
to Russia Panini official sticker album. Thank you very much.
And some packs in there if you want to open them.
Oh, superb. Yeah, now this, as you mentioned,
It's got Italy in there,
Yeah.
which the other World Cup will not have.
Does it have Scotland in it?
I don't know. You have to check there's a thing at the front. Of all the teams.
Wales is in it.
Oh, there you go.
So Robbo will be happy. No Scotland.
Oh, damn it.
They must have known really that they weren't going to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No
I'll
worries.
enjoy that because, as long-time listeners will know, I did have a very traumatic experience with a Whitecap sticker album.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a whole sticker that's just white with one little black triangle on it.
And you had doubles.
Which I found a picture of the other day.
And doubles in the
I
same
had a double
pack.
of that as well.
Doubles
which
in
was
the no.
fantastic.
We had doubles in the same
Oh,
pack.
yeah. Sort that out, Whitecaps. Anyway, we don't have too much more to go, but just before we do go, we have one final Whitecap talking about what Christmas is like in their household. And we're going to Wales. Robert Earnshaw, who, if you've listened before, you know he gives great answers to
Yeah.
these. This is the longest.
Descriptive
This is
answers.
the longest one of them all, which probably won't surprise anyone. But this is Robert Earnshaw and what it's like in the Earnshaw household.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
What is Christmas dinner like in the Earnshaw household?
Christmas dinner is always very, very busy because there's quite a lot of us, and my sister's got a couple of kids, and my other sister's got kids, my brother, and so it's very, very busy. But it's always all the women cook. My mum's in there, my sisters. My sisters normally take the charge on the cooking, so they're running the show in the kitchen. So all the men are like, okay, when's the football on? What's happening? What time's the food ready? But all the women are like, hey, don't worry, we're taking care of everything. Get out of the kitchen. Do you want a snack? Do you want to eat something? But food is ready at this time, so it's very nice. And the best thing is spending it with the family, especially now. I'm away. Yeah. I've been away a lot, and it's that time I get to see the whole of my family kind of come together. So it's great because we all get together. And to be fair, we're all very good. We all kind of live here, there, and everywhere, and I'm the other side of the world, but we always trying to manage to get together because it's a special time for us.
Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
Robert Earnshaw there talking about what Christmas is like in the Earnshaw household. So, just got our last couple of things to go. We spoke about a lot of the things that we put out on Twitter. And one of the things we put out was, what would you like football related as a Christmas present or for Christmas? So we'll just quickly go over some of those. Jay San, Ruttigan Can, said he'd like an MLS Cup, or failing that, Freddie Montero.
Anna Namsharin, a Besiktas jersey.
Yeah.
I wonder who she would want. A Tiba?
I think she might.
Kyle Laren?
Andy M, Swampo. He wants Carlos Carvajal to leave Sheffield Wednesday, and he's really happy because that happened on Christmas Eve. He got
that's
sacked.
awesome.
It's not a nice way to to end Christmas Eve, though.
Expected Brenton at Caps offside espresso machine.
Yes. Now, he said he's never ever asked for anything as much as that before. He usually just asked for a book. But at Brian_Clegg, he said he's already got FIFA 18, so he'll just settle for some big game-changing signings for the Whitecaps.
Like, I didn't get FIFA 18 this year because I think they're coming out with the World Cup. In the World Cup year, I like getting the World Cup game. I like doing that.
I don't think I've got it since 15.
Oh. Whitecaps Forever at H. Crump, a front office with balls. So I'm assuming Christmas ornaments.
Yes.
He wants to decorate it with Christmas ornaments.
Yeah. Jordan Smith at Trio W. Smith. He wants the Doos and Lewis to get fired.
Okay. Good Christmas spirit there. Arnie Salveson, peace on the Southsiders Forum. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
No, that's never going to happen. And neither is Ryan McLeod's thing, probably, of 3 actual DP level signings by the Whitecaps.
Stuart Erickson at the Penguin, Zlatan Man United kit.
You'd probably like that as well. And Steve Johnson at StevieJ604, he wants a number 10 signing for the Whitecaps, which I would quite like as well.
Chris Corrigan at /C86, I would like attacking football at BC Place next year and a trophy won at home. I think he's asking for a bit too much. Maybe choose one.
Maybe. Tefe tweets he wants a TSS Rovers season ticket, which is great value, and everyone should get that.
I will be getting that this year.
Whether it's for Christmas or not.
Russell Beresford at squad player, promotion for Derby. Oh, I wonder where they are right now.
They're doing well. They're in the playoff spot, so he's got a good chance of getting that to happen. John Humphreys, LW004, wants promotion playoff success for the clubs he supports. Real Oviedo.
Oh, he owns, I think, part of it.
Oh.
I think he bought shares. Yeah.
Which of Kian's Froze there. And, of course, the Whitecaps.
We'll see at CASTW123. Watch Ronaldinho play in his prime.
Phil Straffarelli at P. Straffel. He wants a second star. I'm not sure if he means on the Whitecaps jerseys or in the sky for Christmas.
I don't know. Rick Allen at Hallis777, a Kendall Waston signed jersey.
And Hugh Belanis at High on Caps, he wants a Swiss. He wants a Swiss national team kit.
Okay.
Or failing that, you can get a bar of Lindt chocolate maybe.
Kumiento maybe.
And we just got a late one in here from Angus Walker. He wants some revelation that strips TFC of the title. I think that's a nice way to end the show. So just before we go, let's just let everyone know where they can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter at WhitecapsBeat, and you can find Santa in Cabo San Lucas.
Ooh.
I guess you can find me on Twitter, even though I'm not on it very much, is at Erwin. And on Facebook as CaitlinMcCall.author.
And what's your author's website again for everyone?
Oh, it's just CaitlinMcCall.ca.
I'm Michael McCall. You can find me on Twitter at AFTN Canada. Read all our stuff away from the numbers. AFTN.ca. Also the Whitecaps beat reporter for MLSsoccer.com. And hope you've enjoyed this 2-part Christmas special. We'll be bringing the podcasts out, one on Christmas Day, one probably on Boxing Day. We'll get the first one out early so you've got some Christmas tunes to listen to on Christmas morning. Hope you've enjoyed it. We really have. And I'm going to leave you with a song by one of my favourite Scottish bands, Mogwai. This is Christmas Steps. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Christmas is, well, it's about the best time of the whole year. You walk down the streets even for weeks before Christmas comes. And there's lights hanging up, green ones and red ones. Sometimes there's snow, and everybody's hustling someplace. But they don't hustle around Christmas time like they usually do. You know, they're a little more friendlier. They bump into you, they laugh, and they say, pardon me, and Merry Christmas. And especially when it gets real close to Christmas night. Everybody's walking home, you can hardly hear a sound. Bells are ringing, kids are singing, snow is coming down. And boy, what a pleasure it is to think that you got someplace to go to. And the place that you're going to has somebody in it that you really love.
10 minutes left. Yeah, but there's still some time. It's not the final score. We need more than the numbers we're given. Show us you live and breathe the game. You're more than a name. That's what we came for. We can bring you more than the score. Every story. Let's take this thing off of the field into the real world, away from the numbers,
Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.